question is this. I have a phrase, and the phrase for you is silver lining. Can anyone tell me what that phrase means? Not what it means to them just yet, but what does it mean as a definition? And I'm going to start with Milo. Go. So Milo, what you raised your hand. Do you want to share?
Oh, I did.
Okay, maybe you didn't. Read. What about you?
So the literal meaning is a line, like a line that you would hang your clothes on made out of silver, or a silver lining is the good between all the bad.
And when it was really interesting to me that Reed talked about the literal meaning of something. So have you guys ever seen a storm cloud? Very, very dark cloud. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Well, the silver lining is what's around the outside of the dark cloud.
Sun?
Yes, sun. And guess what? They call that the silver lining. So what is the metaphor mean? Reed gave us the literal. Who can give me the metaphor?
No, I gave the
Reed, just let me answer the question, ask the question. Then you can hit the button, raise hand, and then I call on you, okay? So the question is, can anybody explain the metaphor to me, focusing on the metaphor, not so much the literal, the cloud or whatever, but what is the metaphor? Bogdan, what do you think? Brody, what do you think? Isabella, Cole, Milo, Rennie, Evan, what do you guys think? Oh, hi, Ben. Bogdan, go for it.
Is it like when there's so much like dark and bad, but then there's a tiny bit of good?
You know, it's a really nice way of explaining it. My definition of a silver lining is when something great comes out of something bad. So I just happened to have met my best friend about 32 years ago, okay? And I spent my whole life with her. She is my wife. She and I, for some reason, the way our brains are wired, they're wired to find silver linings in all the bad. And we haven't had a lot of bad, but what we've had, we have found silver linings that have really made our lives very, very rich and very wonderful, just in terms of the conversation and the quality of life. So I want to ask you for your personal silver linings that have come out of Corona. For you, what has changed for the better in all of the darkness? Who's going to start sharing? Brody, we'll start with you.
I do like a lot of art and stuff, so I get to do more of that.
Wow. I have to tell you, not only am I excited about hearing about that, Brody, but I'd really love to see some of your artwork. So if you would share it with the class, you can actually show us. Whoa, guys, check that out.
Wait, can you turn off mirror so we can see where it actually is?
Let me see, Brody, talk right now, because then you'll be the one that everybody sees, I think.
Hello.
So Brody should just be the one talking.
Hello. Hi, this is my art.
Yeah, that's really extraordinary. Really, really extraordinary. I'm really excited about that. So Brody, you keep going on that, okay? Don't stop. Who else has a silver lining? Isabella, go for it.
Well, usually like my family, like usually we don't get to like talk to like my usually like something that's good with my dad is also like my parents and my family. Usually like we don't get to see our like old friends, like especially some of my friends from preschool. and now I've been able to like FaceTime them, and we've just been calling more. Like we used to never talk that much, and now we've been talking a lot.
You know, Isabella, that is a beautiful, beautiful silver lining. Hopefully one that will change your life for the better. Awesome. Bogdan.
So because I haven't had to go anywhere a lot or like at all, I have a lot of time to focus on like basketball and soccer.
Wow, that's great. So how's your jump shot?
Good. Yeah.
Well, anytime you want to take me on a little one-on-one, you're game. All right, Reed, talk to me.
Mine is that I've been getting to play a lot of games with my brother, which he never has time, or when he actually does have time, he makes up some weird excuse or just says plain out no when he said he would that day and can't. And he still kind of does that, but I get to play more games with him, and I had a lot of time. Like I made a whole magic deck.
You know, Reed, do me a favor. Tonight, when you're having dinner with your wonderful family, repeat what you just told me, okay? Because I think that it'll mean a lot to Aiden, and I think that
if he heard that, he would just yell at me. Trust me.
Yeah, you know what though. But inside, he'll know how much you mean, how much he means to you. That's beautiful. Evan, what about you, buddy?
So my silver lining is I love biking, and so I've gotten to do a lot more of that.
Wow, that's great. That is such a great skill. How about you, Ben? Anything that's a silver lining for you?
I don't know, not really.
Okay, why don't you think about it? Rennie, how about you? Cole, Milo, I'd love to hear from you guys as well. Go ahead, Milo.
Well, my silver lining is that, like, during school, like, my mom and dad have to work, and now, like, every night we get to spend some family time because every night we, like, watch a movie together.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. You know, guys, this is amazing. Does anybody else want to share their silver lining before I tell you what mine is, my big one? All right, you guys ready? I found something out this week that I think really is going to change my life. And that is this mountain range has not been visible in northern India for 30 years. 30, guys, just think about that. In 1987, the cities of India became so polluted. And also, Reed, could you undo your virtual background, please? Because it's.
I thought I turned that off.
Yeah, thank you. So it is there's so much pollution in India for the last 30 years that people living just a few miles away from the mountain never even knew that the mountain was there. They literally couldn't see it. This is what the sky looked like in Delhi, India, just a year ago. On the left, you see the normal sky in Delhi, India. On the right is what you see today. So to me, the silver lining for coronavirus is that pollution is changing around the world. I've never seen anything like it before. And I want to share that with you today. We're going to start with the science. The scientists are saying, folks, that this is the largest experiment in human history. We've never turned off the factories and the cars. It's been over 120 years since we literally had the opportunity to turn everything off at the same time. Nitrogen dioxide are little particles. They're molecules that are made of one nitrogen and two oxygen atoms. If you put nitrogen and two oxygen atoms together, it forms nitrogen dioxide, which is what cars give off out of their burning gasoline, and also factories and airplanes and cars and trucks and buses and boats. I mean, everyone is responsible, okay? Now, this is what the World Health Organization says, WHO, that if the NO2 levels, if the nitrogen dioxide levels are more than 200 micrograms in 1 cubic meter, it is a very unsafe place to be. Can anybody tell me how many cubic centimeters? Flag in, please. Please raise your hand electronically. How many cubic centimeters are in a cubic meter? That's what I want to know. How many cubic centimeters are in a cubic meter? And I want to start with Evan.
I think it's 100.
Well, that's definitely the number of centimeters in 1 meter.
So is it 1,000?
Well, you're onto something here.
Wait,
Let's go with
600.
you, Isabella. What do you think?
1,000.
Well, okay, I hear you. I want to hear from Cole now.
100,000?
And are you guys guessing, or does somebody have an algorithm? Reed?
Well, cubic? My guess is it's small, so I think it's 1,000th. Thousandth?
Well, okay.
Like 100th, not thousandth. Like 1
Guys,
over 100.
I have an algorithm.
Hold on a second. Who is I?
Evan.
Evan, hold on a second. Guys, if I've got a cube that is a 10 by 10 by 10 cube, so let's say it's 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. What is 10 times 10 times 10? Say it out loud, please.
1,000 centimeters.
No, 1,000 cubic centimeters. Now, guys, I want you to look at a cubic centimeter. Are you ready? It's about that big. So 1,000 cubic centimeters would fill up an area that's maybe, I don't know, maybe, no, that's way too big. Maybe this big right here. That's about 1,000 cubic centimeters. Now,
Is it a million?
Bogdan, wait, Bogdan, go for it, then Evan.
Million, I think, because so for that cube you did 10 times 10 times 10. For this one you do 100 times 100 times 100. 100 times 100 is 10,000, and then 10,000 times 100 is 1 million.
Now, guys, I want to show you this right now. We're going to look at 100 times 100 times 100. And Vrenny, can you tell me how many zeros in total are there in these 300s?
6.
Absolutely correct. And guys, if I write down 6 zeros with a 1 in front of it, I get 10 to the 6th power. 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, 6 times, and that's a million. Guys, there are a million of these little tiny cubic centimeters in 1 cubic meter. And if there are more than 200 micrograms, now you're not going to believe this, guys, but 1,000 micrograms can fit into 1 cubic centimeter. 1,000 micrograms. And there are a million cubic centimeters in a cubic meter. So when you multiply 1,000 times a million, how many micrograms are there in a cubic meter? On 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
1
Billion?
billion.
1 billion.
1 billion cubic, 1 billion micrograms is 1 cubic meter. Now watch this. The scientists say that if the NO2 levels are greater than 200 of the 1 billion, that is unsafe. Who can simplify this fraction for me? You can do it and send me a chat. You have 200 divided by 1 billion. 200 micrograms divided by 1 billion micrograms. If you send me a chat, please simplify this fraction for me. And if you have any really good questions about how to simplify it, go for it. Isabella?
I don't.
Oh, that was that from before?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So guys, do you see that you can divide the top by 100 and the bottom by 100?
Yeah.
You guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
And what's left? 2 over what?
2 over 10 million.
10 million.
Nice, Evan.
That was
And
me. That was Bogdan.
oh, great, Bogdan, thank you. And can anyone now tell me what is the equivalent of 2 10 millionths? Who's got it? On 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
1 5 billion.
10 billion.
1
5 million.
5
5
million.
million.
So you have to cut each in half. So if the NO2 levels are more than 1/5 millionth, you are going to be unsafe. Now, I want to show you some pictures of, this is where my dad used to live in South Korea years and years ago, maybe 60, 70 years ago, 60 years ago. And their country was so polluted. And in the last 2 months, the amount of nitrogen dioxide has reduced in South Korea by 54%. In China alone, this is Wuhan right here, where the virus began. It really, Beijing, and I've been to Beijing, and yes, it is very, very polluted. Not a safe city to be in. Look at what it looks like, guys, 1 month later. And
What?
This is 2 months ago. There's virtually no pollution in China right now. Now look at this, guys. This is March 2019 in northern Italy. The mountain range north of Italy is called the Alps. And the Alps are a very large wall that traps nitrogen dioxide. It doesn't allow it to dissipate in the air. And so northern Italy is very, very polluted. But look at it 1 year later. They've reduced their emissions by 40%. Now, this is Wuhan, China. Wuhan is where everything started. And it was previously one of the dirtiest cities from a pollution standpoint in the world. And look at what it looks like, guys, 2 months ago. Virtually clear. So if I get the chance, I'm going to Wuhan. I want to see what it looks like now without the pollution. Now, the story that I want to tell you, okay? These people, did I tell you about this mountain range yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you know that these people live there. How come they didn't know they lived near the mountains? What do you guys have that they don't have? Cole?
They have a lot of pollution.
That's true, but shouldn't they have already known that the mountains were there? Rennie, were you going to raise your hand there? No? Okay, what do you think, Evan?
They don't have as much technology.
They don't, but how would they otherwise know that there were mountains? Reed, what do you think?
They had to go on a hike. Someone went on a hike to explore there, and they're like, "Whoa, this is a mountain range."
You know what, guys? Their lack of education. You guys are well educated. You have parents that care about your education. You have teachers that care about your education. And you know your geography. Wasn't it, Ben, wasn't it you who told me that you really love geography?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, can you imagine, Ben, going to school and not knowing that you live next to Mount Everest? It's well, not actually Mount Everest, but at least the Himalayas are part of, lead into Mount Everest. So it's really amazing to me. And this picture really tells it all. Do you think we are going to go back to here after Corona is over?
At some point, yes.
Yes, it's
Yeah, eventually.
So
Oh,
you
yeah.
think we're gonna circle right back?
Yeah, like 100 years, maybe.
And Bogdan, what do you think?
I think that like after the quarantine is over, it's not going to be as bad for a pretty long time, but then like after a long time, probably.
So no.
Yeah, Isabella, what's your thought? And I'm gonna take Evan as well. Go ahead.
I think like after this, like when it's good, some people are still going to be scared. So like eventually, like in a long time, it's going to go back to that. But like some people, like right when this is over, it's not like everything's going to go like immediately right back to normal. Like things are like it's going to build up, getting better slowly. So I think like that will happen.
I think that's very, very sensible, Isabella. And Evan, what were you gonna add to that?
So I have one question about the mountain. Did
Yes,
they not
sir.
know about the whole mountain range, or did they just not know about that one mountain?
Well, this happens to be a particular mountain range near a city called Jalandhar in Punjab, okay? But, and just so you know, these people live 120 miles away from the mountain, but it's now visible to them. And yeah, they could not see it at all. And many of them didn't even know that they lived near it. So what I want to do, guys.
And then also,
yes, go ahead.
I think that the whole reason that, or there's two main reasons why pollution rates are going down so much. And one of them is because exhaustion levels are a lot lower because people aren't driving and gas isn't like, that's why gas prices are down so much, because they're barely able to sell it. It's at like $1.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
It's at like $1.80 a gallon.
Right.
And so I think that's part of it.
Oh, that's cheap.
And,
yeah. So guys.
And so
yeah, go ahead, Evan.
There's like also as much plastic isn't being used, which causes a lot of pollution.
Well, I want to show you some of my favorite cities. Okay, France. This is Paris, France, and this is Paris, France today. A year ago.
Paris was polluted?
Say again?
Paris was polluted? I didn't know that. I went there.
Paris is a very polluted city. And if you look at the level of nitrogen dioxide, okay, they were literally in the 160 range. Now, 160 is considered moderate. This is called the AQI index, Air Quality Index, okay? And it's based on the amount of micrograms of nitrogen dioxide per cubic meter. But guys, look at this. So France was in this category right here, the moderate, okay? And now they are probably in the satisfactory or good category. It's really an extraordinary change. Look at Madrid, Spain, and Barcelona, two places I absolutely love. And look at this. Today, it's virtually no pollution. Now, I want to take you to a little trip to where we live. Would you like to go and see where we live? This is the air that you breathed just a year ago. So a year ago, and this was taken by an image from a NASA satellite called, I think it's called Aura, A-U-R-A. And the satellite uses a technology to test the number of nitrogen dioxide molecules times 10 to the 15th power. So who can tell me what is 10 to the 15th power? If 1 million is 10 to the 6th power, what do you think is 10
power
to the 15th power? Somebody has something to add? Go for it. Reed, go for it.
It's 10 times 10 continue 15, which means it's 10 times 10, 15 times.
Which means it's a 1 followed by how many zeros?
Oh, 15.
Okay, now I want everybody,
Actually,
please.
16. No, 15.
Yeah, I want everybody now to please don't say it out loud. Can you read that number to me? It's 10 to the 15th molecules of nitrogen dioxide in every cubic centimeter. And who can read that number? On 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
1 trillion.
And that is 1,000 off. So I really like what you said, but you're 1,000 off. Now watch
Oh,
this,
yeah.
guys. Ready? Wait, don't call it out. This is million. This is billion.
Quadrillion.
This is trillion, and therefore it's 1 what?
Quadrillion.
Quadrillion. Now, if you multiply that by 10, you see the black area right here? That's 10 quadrillion molecules of nitrogen dioxide in every cubic centimeter. And guys, if you look closely at half of Long Island, New Jersey, and New York City, it is completely in the dangerous level. Now, in Boston, we are not so bad, but also not so great. Okay?
We're like halfway.
And if you look at us, we're kind of like Pennsylvania or even parts of Delaware. But guess what, guys? I have good news for you.
Yeah.
This is a year ago. Today, this is what we look like.
This.
Do you guys, can you please breathe in the air right now? Go. Guys, do you detect any nitrogen dioxide at all?
No,
Wait,
but
Brody,
most.
Brody, are you okay, Brody? So, guys, guess what? 30% reduction across Washington.
New York City's still black.
York, Philadelphia, and Boston. Yes, Evan noticed that still about 20% of Long Island and New York City is still in this range. So they've still got a lot of work to do, but oh my God, the world has changed. I give you now the world. Everyone, this is what's going on in major cities around the world. Can you all go to page 6, please, in your packet?
Hey, that's the first page my mom actually printed out.
And well, your mom has good foresight. And Bogdan, you had a question or a comment.
Yeah, why does Rome have plus 30%?
Did you notice, everybody look at Rome. It's the only city on this list of 10 major cities that has had a 30% increase in its pollution
Or any increase.
since the coronavirus. Who can give me a theory for why Rome is up 30%? Anybody have a good idea? Isabella, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this and everyone else.
Well, maybe they've just been like doing better, and they've been like better with, and they've been like doing like what's right, and they've been like doing better.
Yeah, but their pollution went from, let's say it was at this level right here in blue. It's now the blue plus the red.
I know why.
So their pollution has gone up by 30%. They're not doing better, and I don't know why. Evan, what do you think?
So what I think is maybe that, so what the US should have done with COVID was right when it started to get bad, they should have gone into total lockdown where no one could have left. And then that probably would have gotten coronavirus a lot better. And so maybe Rome did that. And so they're doing a lot better with coronavirus. So it's much more normal there. And so
You know, Evan, what you said is very logical, but unfortunately, guess what the epicenter of Europe was for a corona? Say it.
Rome.
Italy. So the country of Italy had some of the worst effects of corona, and Rome is right there. So your theory is a good one. I want to hear, Isabella, you have a follow-up?
Yeah. Also, I heard like some places have been running out of, like they've ran out. Like they said on the news a few weeks ago. Like some places have run out of
what, honey? What have they run out of?
They ran out of coronavirus. Like they ran out of testing things to test people for coronavirus.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of really, really interesting things are happening. Reed, what do you have to add to that?
So, actually, I know a couple countries actually are making the testing kits, and that requires factories. So my guess is there's some in Rome, and some countries that are right next to each other didn't get hit as hard as others. Because if you take two countries that are next to each other, I bet one will get hit. One will get hit much more than the other.
Okay, I cannot believe the level of this discussion. It's really exciting to me. I want to give you a couple of theories. One of the theories was mine, and one of the theories belonged to a third grader in my last class. So Teddy, his theory is that because more people are living inside Rome, inside their homes, that they are using more electricity, and that the electric plants near Rome have still been working around the clock, and they're producing more pollution. And I think that's a fantastic theory. Now, my theory, and I don't know if I'm right, but I don't know if you guys know, but your heating system in your house, or refrigeration, or air conditioning, has these big units outside. Have you ever seen these big kind of industrial units, and they've got big fans in them, etc.? Mm-hmm. When you use your heater, it emits nitrogen dioxide into the air. Now, in Rome, they had a very, very cold winter. Not only did they have a cold winter, but everybody was forced to be inside. So now they're inside for the first time in a long time, and they're shivering. What do? They turn on their heat, and the nitrogen dioxide gets put into the atmosphere. Whoever knows why, let's stay away from Rome, but let's go to Sao Paulo, Brazil. Let's go to Madrid, Spain. Let's go to Mumbai, India, or Delhi.
Ooh,
Delhi is like
Delhi.
the biggest change in the history of the world. Wuhan, 44%. Seoul, Korea, 54%. London, 9% down.
What
Now-
about Hawaii?
I don't know. I wish I did. Now, what I did for you guys, and I want you to look at this. I don't want you to spend too much time on this because I have some other really fun projects for you. But if you take a little crayon or highlighter or a colored pencil, why don't you just shade in 25% reduction for New York? And by the way, each of these squares, there are 10 of them per bar. So I split each up into 10 for 10%. And you guys can do this relatively fast. London's a little harder because you don't even get to fill up an entire square. I'm gonna wait to deal with Rome. I'm really interested to what you guys do. Don't say it out loud if you have an idea, but I'm really interested what you're gonna do for Rome. Wow, Delhi is the most fun. 60% reduction. I never wanted to go to India until now, and now I want to go badly. By the way, Mumbai is also one of the most polluted cities in the world in India. India has 21 of the 30 most polluted cities in the world.
Wow, that's not good.
Yeah, but you know what? Silver lining, my friend.
Yeah.
They're changing, and who knows? We're going to talk about India in just in a few minutes. And I think I had one more. Seoul, Korea, down 54%. And another thing that you might do, which I think is fun, can everybody stop working for just a second, please, and look up, because I want your undivided attention. If 54% of the pollution was reduced in Seoul, Korea, what percentage is remaining? On three. 1, 2, 3.
56.
And the answer is 46%. By the way, 46%, are you ready for this? Is the complement of 54%. What is the complement of 44%? On three. 1, 2, 3.
56.
Awesome. What is the complement of 34%? Go.
66.
What is the complement of 60%?
40.
What is the complement of 11%?
89.
What is the complement of an increase of 30%? I don't even know how
Negative
to ask.
30%.
So what do we do?
It's negative 70%.
I don't know about that. Who can raise their hand and share what's going on in Rome? How are we going to show the pollution remaining? Evan, what do you think? How are we going to show the pollution remaining? Milo, do you have an idea? Rennie, are you thinking about this? What do we want to do with Rome? It's increased. Reed, I've got you. Just hold on. I want to make sure other people are thinking about this. And Bogdan, give your idea.
Maybe if you put the green on the left and the red box, how much it increased?
We could certainly do that, but I'm just thinking about something else we could do. And Evan, what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? Brody, what are you thinking about? What could we do with Rome? Cole. And Milo, I need you to undo your screen, please, your virtual screen. And I want you to angle your computer all the way down so we can see you. All right?
On the other side.
Ooh.
I accidentally colored this one green, Rome green, so it's just.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So what actually, Reed, what did Brody do?
Well, Brody added one hole. He added more. He made it so it shows that it increases from the whole of it. Like he
Yeah.
added more rows.
Yeah, so guys, what percentage of pollution is Rome right now? Who can say it? What percentage of Rome's pollution is now than it was before?
130%.
And Reed, wait till everybody does that on 3, guys. 1, 2, 3, go.
130%.
130% of the pollution is left in Rome. So pretty amazing. Now, I want you guys to look at this page. I took a circle and I split it up into 10 equal sectors. Now, a sector is formed by 2 radii of a circle and, wait a minute, did I lose, where's Ben? I lost Ben. So it's formed by 2 radii of a circle and the curve of the circle. And that is called a sector. Now, why do you think I have 36 degrees here? Brenny, can you tell me, looking at 360 degrees, how I was able to get 36 degrees for each of these angles?
Well,
So you have a total of 360 degrees for a circle. I split them up into.
so you divided
10.
by 10?
Yes, and divided what by 10?
You divided the number by 10.
And
Well,
what
you
number is
divided
that?
the circle.
And what number?
360.
Right. So I divided the total degrees of a circle by 10, and I got 36 degrees. Now, guys, does it look easy to draw 10 equal parts of a circle?
No, you probably used a tool.
Do you know that I cheated?
You used the tool, that's right.
I wanted to show
Probably
you.
a ruler.
Look what I used, guys. I literally overlaid a regular decagon on top of a circle, and I was easily able to do that. Now, if you don't cheat, I want you guys to go now to page 8. Look at page 8 in your packet and go to Sao Paulo. Now, what I want you to do is I want everybody to draw for me a horizontal line diameter directly through the center of the circle. Now, how many degrees did I just split that up into?
50. 180.
It's 180 on one side and 180 on the other side. Now, everybody look at my screen, please, right now. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Milo, Evan, and Cole. Milo, Evan, and Cole, look at the screen, please. And Brenny. Okay, here we go. Now, on the 180 degrees, I want you to split that up into 5 equal pieces. Watch this. I usually go to the center, and I'm off center halfway, and then I take a third, and then halfway, and then draw a little dot at the center of the circle. Let me know when you're there. Is everybody there? Now, if you have a ruler, this would be a really good time to use it. And if you go from each of these equidistant dots, same distance from each other, and go right through the center, go all the way to the other side. And do it again.
And again.
And again.
And again.
One more time. How does that look, guys?
Good.
Pretty cool. Now, we're going to color in 33% for Sao Paulo, which is in Brazil. So we're going to color in 3 of these, yes? And what? And how much more?
3.
In 3 times of 1.
So a third of a tenth. A third of a tenth is 1/30th. And if you add up all the percentages, the numbers, so if you add up 36 plus 36 plus 36, and who can tell me out loud what is 1/3 of 36? Come on, 3%, 1/3.
12.
And now, let's add up, guys. 36 3 times. Don't say it out loud. And what is 6, 6, and 6?
18.
18.
And
No.
what is,
Don't
Three,
forget about the 2.
Yeah, you forgot about the 2.
oh, sorry.
That
It's 20.
yeah.
Thank you. Whoa, what just happened?
You
Sorry about that, guys. I lost my page. Here we go. That is the answer key. And okay, so let's fix that. Oh, I know, I hit the wrong button. Okay, guys, so help me out here. It is actually 20, and then what do we get?
12.
And 120 degrees is the reduced amount of pollution in Sao Paulo. And I want you guys to do all of these during the week. But what are we going to do about Rome?
we're gonna add a second circle.
Ooh, very interesting. So why doesn't everybody work on Rome right now? I want to see what you can come up with. And I'm especially interested in Brody because of your artistic ability. That might actually be a benefit here. I think art and math, Brody, go very well together. I don't know if I like the points that I just made, guys. I think I bunched them too much together. I think that's better. If anybody has any questions about this method of creating tenths, and while you're doing this, let me just tell you that people in the United States don't do this very well because we're not on the metric system. We are on a different system. And
The
so
U.S. customary unit.
Say again?
The U.S. customary unit.
Right, and we're into like base 12, we're into base 16 with ounces, base 12 with time, base 60, and the rest of the world is on base 10 metric system. And the metric system is all about tens.
Mine looks like the Death Star now because the center's slightly off center.
Now, I'm gonna cheat here, guys, and I want you to witness my little cheating thing here. I've got a little tool that can allow me to literally cut out a 30% or 108 degrees of a circle. And look at this. I just sent this to the current page. There it is. I think I should make it a little smaller.
Yeah, I think so too. There we go.
Look at this, guys.
You can do that? Oh,
Isn't that cool?
that's cool.
So you guys can do the same thing but I don't think I want to shade it in though.
That's what I was doing before you did that. I was doing that already.
Yeah, because if we shade it in, that means that the pollution has decreased by that amount. So I'm not going to shade in anything.
Wait, so, but
Oh, Brody, cool.
Mr. Kramer,
That's awesome, Brody. Yes, sir, Evan.
so if you
Cool, Bogdan.
if you do that, then you're technically saying that the pollution's higher than it could possibly be.
Not could be. Evan, I want you to hold your hand out, like everybody hold their hands out, and make believe that you're holding 100 beads in your hand, 100 beads, right?
Yes.
And then, Evan, I add to those 100 beads another 30 beads. So you now have 130% of what you had before.
Oh.
So the pollution, it wasn't the maximum, Evan. The pollution was whatever Rome had, and then now they have 130% of that, which
Hey,
is
can
really,
I show you, can I show what I did?
please read, definitely.
So I vote wrong side. That's the answer key. Don't look at that. I vote one hole straight in, and then I vote 78, and then shade that in because it's 336s.
Wow. Wait a minute, what is 336s again, guys?
78.
I don't think so. So
No, it's
236s is 72,
Oh yeah,
and 3 of them
106.
is
108.
108. So it's 108. Oh, guys, guess what? Isn't it 360 degrees? Rennie, remember you told me about that? Plus the 108? What's my total degree measurement in Rome now?
468.
So think about a 468 degree amount of pollution, 130%. Now, everybody stop for a second. I want you guys to have a lot of fun with this and do a lot of great graphics, but I want to share with you something amazing. The day March 22nd, 2020 at 7 a.m., India's president went on the big, loudspeakers and told 1,300,000,000 people to stay inside.
Whoa, we didn't know that.
And
Wait, that's how many people live in India?
that's how many people live in India. It's the most populated country. I think maybe China has a few more, but
No,
India
I don't
is
think so, because
growing.
China doesn't have 1 billion.
Oh, no, I think they do. I think China has like 1.5 billion.
Yeah,
But
it
I
does.
think India is rising, Evan, at such a fast level that it's going to take over China very, very soon. But listen to this, guys. 24 hours after the curfew was imposed, they did an analysis. They did an analysis of 102 cities. Now look at this. If you look at these cities, every single one of their air quality indices went down. Negative, negative, negative. This guy went down by 56 points.
What about Moab? Moab went up. Oh no, wait. Sorry, I forgot the 100.
Everything that I see here so far, except this one, is a negative. So Kanpur went up by what? Come on, 24 and 13.
27.
24 and 13.
37.
Not 37?
Oh,
Yeah, 37.
yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right. 37 points. Very, very good. Everybody else, every city in India, guys, And I want to just look at this incredible graph. This is your answer key. All of these cities, except for the few in red, had reductions in just 24 hours. Now, I do want to let you know that this is still what people look at. And India now is a safe place to be. And it's really, really exciting. So I want you guys to just.
So what state are they in now?
Oh,
what part are they in now?
Well, Delhi is down 60%. And I think that a lot of Indian cities are doing the exact same thing. My big question to you is this: what can you do to change the world? And I want you to look at something that a 5th grader did yesterday for me. He wrote me a poem. So this kid, Seth, who's a really fine mathematician, just like you guys, he wanted to share a poem that he wrote for his poetry unit at school in the wake of Tuesday's math lead class. He said, "Pollution is taking over the world. It is a monster that spreads when people do something bad. We give it energy, but then the virus came. It battled the pollution, showing us that if we can do good, we can kill the pollution, but we still call it bad. It forces us to not use our cars, to not open up factories. And when we look back, we will acknowledge it." I cannot believe that a 5th grader wrote such beautiful poetry, but I want to just say, guys, the silver lining is all of you are going to find out ways to do things you've never, ever done before. So I'm really excited to watch your silver linings grow. Brody talked about his artwork. Other people talked about their biking skills, basketball skills. I mean, there's so many things, dance skills, reading. So have some fun, take a journey around this world, be happy that we live in a new Northeast, and take a deep breath. Everybody take a deep breath. Oh, that felt good. All right, guys, I will see you in 167 hours, but we'll do our cheer from -360 by 36. Go. -360.
Negative
Negative
324.
24. And we're doing plus 36. Keep going.
Negative
88. Keep going. Negative
Negative 252.
52. Keep going. Negative
Negative 220.
Team something team.
Wait a minute,
No,
guys.
20.
Think about it. You're taking
16.
6 away is
16.
46. And
16.
216. Remember that 216 is also 6 cubed. Very special number. Next, negative 100.
Negative 180.
80. Negative. Keep
Negative.
going.
100.
Negative 100.
44.
4. That's gross. Keep going.
Negative
Negative
144.
108.
Oh.
Negative
Negative 72.
Negative
Negative
36. But don't ever say negative
Negative
0.
Wait,
2,
what?
4, 6, 8.
8.
Who do we appreciate? Mathletes. Mathletes. Go mathletes. And
Wait, I
mathletes, you were amazing as usual. Say goodbye to your friends. I will see you guys in 166 hours and about 58 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay?
But I got a question.
Well, yes,
Does
buddy.
it count changing work from moving this thing from here over to here? Doesn't it technically count changing the world?
Of course you did. The world will never be the same, Reed. The
No.
world will never be the same.
No, that's figurative. That's literally changing the world.
That is. Hey, Cole, do me a favor, put on some sunscreen, okay? There's a lot of sun out there on the beach, so be careful. All right, buddy. See you later.
Bye.